Let's go to our politics panel now. Greens co-leader Marama Davidson and ACT leader
That's
David
right,
Seymour join us live from Parliament. Sorry to keep you waiting, guys. Thank you for being with me this morning. Morena, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's start with the retail crime group. David, has it done what it set out to do? Because retail crime hasn't come down in any dramatic fashion. I spoke to Carolyn Young from Retail NZ this morning. I know there are law changes that are happening and coming through, but was it all worth it?
Well, first of all, retail crime has come down. If you look at ram raids, down 85%, youth crime, there's a lot of retail crime, down 15% across the board. And as you say, some of the things that this group has proposed is not yet in place because we like to make laws properly, and that takes a process where it goes through consultation and so on. So I would say overall we've gone from a world where people just walk out the door with no consequence to falling retail crime and a lot more powers, such as the ability to detain people who are stealing, which you just should be able to do. That's now going to be possible too. So I would say that overall,
it's worth it.
It's shifted the values on crime. We've said it's the victims who have the rights. It's working, and the retail crime group has made a contribution to that.
Marama, David's right, isn't he? I mean, you just go down the street, you talk to your average Kiwi. Well, you talk to your average Kiwi, and the attitude towards these people who were walking out with trolleys full of food has completely changed. You're more likely now to see people actually chase them down and get them back. People are sick of it, had enough.
So, I want to be clear here. Ministerial advisory groups are actually useful. I know that from experience. But the flimsiness of the work, that absolutely cannot be attributed to any improvements in community safety. The report that they put out, the unevidenced, known to not work, that even the New Zealand police have slammed, for example, citizens' arrest powers as one of their suggestions. And for what cost, Ryan? And can I just take some time here? We had $1.8 million per year allocated to originally a 5-member group, which came down to, I think, 2. And I had a violence prevention ministerial advisory group, $1.95 million for 3 years, over 3 years, across 11 members, and they didn't spend that entire allocation. This group actually invoiced above the 1.8 million allocation. So money for Sunny, actually, Ryan, is what this group has been about. Money for Sunny. And to the public, Minister Goldsmith needs to be accountable because the public are saying, hey, this looks like lining rich fellas' pockets with even more of our money.
All right. I love that.
The Minister needs to stand up.
I love that you're going down the taxpayer money route here, Marama. Long may that last. You mentioned the violence prevention group. What percentage reduction in violence was there as a result of it?
And for the retail crime group, I want to acknowledge...
Hang on.
...take time, including...
You brought it up.
Prevention violence...
Marama, you brought it up.
No, prevention violence will take
generations.
Violence prevention will absolutely take generations.
So in a generation...
Advisory group able to do...
That money...
In
a generation, that money, what did you say it was? $1.5 million, that will reduce violence.
Had it over 3 years... 11 people.
This is all a waste of time, isn't it? It's window dressing, both of you. Pick an issue, start a group, make us feel good, nothing changes.
So they looked into and were able to point to exactly what we know works, Ryan, what we see in community. And David is welcome to visit, example.
I'm still here, Ryan.
David, you go on. All right. Should we talk about something else?
David is welcome to visit, for example, the groups in the community who I have seen with my own eyes preventing young people from ram raiding shops. So we have seen that evidence.
All right.
That evidence was included in the violence prevention work.
Okay, we'll move on because we'll talk about the LNG charge that we're getting, the levy, the tax, whatever. Well, actually, David, I'm interested to know, is it a tax? I mean, let's call it what it is. I mean, you pay it to the government. It's a tax, isn't it?
Well, first of all, if you want to, all levies and taxes are paid to the government, but there is a difference. I don't think that this argument's that productive. But a levy is something that you pay for a specific purpose. A specific group of people pay it because they get a particular thing back. A tax is where the government just takes the money from basically everybody and then uses it for a whole lot of different purposes, and they're not linked. So you want to get be right about the technical stuff. It is a levy. It is a charge put by the government onto the power companies and then put into the gas importation. Now, why would you do that? Well, basically because if they don't do it, the power companies won't build it themselves. There won't be enough gas, and when the wind doesn't blow and the sun doesn't shine, we love renewables, but the funny thing about renewables, you actually need some gas or other firming in order to make the renewables work, because you need a counterbalance when they're not going.
Yes, but why would they not invest?
Power companies build that.
Why do we need a taxpayer levy to make this work? Why can't private companies do the investment themselves? Is it because it's a bad investment?
Just to be clear, it's not a taxpayer levy. It is
or
a levy
energy user
on power on specific. No. It's on specific power companies. They're paying.
Which we will pay.
Build this terminal so that, well, not necessarily, because if the net effect of this is that you reduce the cost of power prices because they've got that gas supply on the long cold nights and they don't have price spikes that don't get passed on to consumers, then actually power prices may.
Okay, so we may never see
be
it
the power companies that
we may actually never see it on our bills.
Put it this way, it's not going to be something on your bill. So there's two things happening.
Yep.
Here. Yes, there's a levy on the power companies. Yes, they will.
Got you, understand.
But it's also true that there'll be more electricity supply that will bring down prices.
Roger.
Long cold nights.
Roger.
And dry years. So
Marama,
that's what's actually happening here.
Marama, the problem isn't going to go away, and I know you're not going to like the solution because I've heard you talk about it. But what are we going to do then? What is the big grand plan to actually fix the energy crunch that will inevitably return? It's not here coming this winter, but will inevitably return.
Yeah, and I acknowledge that we've got to bring power bills down. This is guaranteed to increase people's power bills. It's like Ryan asking internet users today to fund for fax machine infrastructure. This is how much of a backward step. I know it's good, eh? This is how much of a backward step.
A couple of bangers
how
this
much
morning.
Of a backward step this is. This is an entirely backward step. It's also, of course, which people care about, pouring more fossil fuel onto a climate crisis.
So what do you do? What do you do?
And it's not going to make it cheaper. We've been very clear. We've put out plans.
So
we can, if we properly commit to it, dedicate and build a system of diverse, renewable, cleaner energy, make better use of our lakes and hydro systems, battery, solar, wind. We can properly invest, especially if it's $1 billion, into setting up for the long term, bring power bills down, and also guard against further emissions into the climate.
I tell you, if you want to continue the analogy, the Green Party banned gas exploration. That's why we're having to do that, just remember. And what we actually did was ended up burning a whole lot more Indonesian coal. So to continue Marama's analogy, they took us back to the carrier pigeon, not the fax machine. But the truth is, if we're ever going to get to this world of 100% renewable energy, if it's going to happen, then having a supply of gas is going to be an essential transition to smooth out those prices. That's what this initiative does. And when you say it's absolutely guaranteed to increase power prices, I'm sorry, that's not true. That's not a fact. The fact is that it's going to put a price that will be paid by the power companies in return for getting a greater supply of electricity, which...
We'll leave it there. If this analogy goes any further, I didn't even think it can. I think we've reached the end.
It will take us back to the Stone Age.
Appreciate your time this morning, guys. Marama Davidson from the Greens and David Seymour.
We're around your neck.
From what?
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.